Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today, surprise, surprise, I want to talk about lemonade. I want to take a closer look at the market and really look at if there is an opportunity that lemonade could be a 100x company. And before we can talk about the company, we of course need to talk about the market fundamentals. So I did some research. It's not research. I just went to look to find a couple of data, and yeah, I want to share it with you. So let's dive into it. So first of all, here you see the US insurance industry in 2020 was about 1.28 trillion US dollars. It's divided almost 50-50. So 51% property and casualty insurance and 49% is life and annuity insurance. I also found some papers or data that suggests that the US insurance industry is about 2.5 trillion US dollars, which is almost double the amount. As far as I'm concerned, this has to do something with the difference how the rest of the world and the United States look at insurance. So in the United States, you divide insurance by property and casualty insurance and life and annuity insurance. And in European countries and all the other countries, insurance industry is divided by life and non-life. But it's just a brief overview, so I don't have the expectation that it's going to be very exact. In the United States, there are about 6,000 insurance companies. Only in the United States. Think about how fragmented this industry is. Next, the European insurance industry is about 1.1 trillion euros. That's about 1.26 trillion US dollars. And it's divided in 37% non-life and 63% life insurance. I also did some research on the global insurance market, which they assume is about 6.3 trillion US dollars. So to sum up, it's a gigantic industry. And in the United States, you have about 6,000 different companies. So just think about worldwide, this must be like tens of thousands of companies that are in the insurance business. Okay, so next, let's look at the P&C insurance industry income analysis. This is for the United States only. And you see here the net written premiums are about 655 billion, which is approximately this half of the 1.3 trillion. And what is really interesting about it is that keep in mind that net investment income is this here. Okay, so net investment income is the money they generate from their investments, because insurance companies have to put aside capital for worst case scenarios, and this capital they invested, of course, and this is the gains they make from these investments. And now we look at net income after taxes. You see that here. So to sum up here, this industry makes 500, 600, something like that, billion in revenues or net written premiums. Their net investment income is about something like 50-ish billion, and their net income is something like 50-ish billion too. So if we just look at these two numbers, net investment income and net income, you see that excluding from net income the investment income, the result here is minus 3 billion approximately. Here it's about minus 9 billion, here it's about plus 3 billion, here it's about plus 7 billion, and here it's about plus 7 billion. So if we sum up this, we have like minus 12 plus 3 is minus 9, minus 2, 5 billion. So over the last 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, over the last 5 years, this entire industry has a net income of about 5 billion if you exclude net investment income, because basically that's not really their core business, right? Their investment income is, I would say, a byproduct of their business. And if we would exclude their net investment income from their net income, they generated 5 billion. Like, this gigantic industry generates 5 billion in net income over the last 5 years. That's just crazy. So at the end, this is a zero-sum game for this industry. Okay, next, let's look at the top 10 writers of P&C insurance. And what we see here State Farm, direct written premiums is about 66 billion. The next is Berkshire Hathaway with 46 billion. And what is very surprising is that even though this company is so huge with 66 billion in direct written premiums, they only have a market share of 9.1%. So basically, you can be a gigantic company with dozens of billions of written premiums, but you still are a small player. But keep in mind that this 9.1% are only the US market share. It's not on a global basis, it's only on a US basis. Okay, so next, these are the largest insurance companies worldwide. And it seems like United Health, they seem to be quite an exception because they are so huge. And Ping An is a Chinese company, they are also huge. So let's exclude these two companies. And then you see AXA, China Life, Kaiser Foundation, Anthem, I don't know this, and Allianz. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies. These 5 companies are very similar in size. About 86 to 101 billion net written premium. And probably what we observe is that from here, from about 100 billion, it's very, very tough to scale. So this must look something like this, right? It's almost impossible to scale this business model. And that's due to how they work, how their IT works, how their management works, how they need to acquire customers. It's also due to that Europeans don't really buy American insurance and Americans don't really buy European insurance. So there are a lot of reasons why these companies are all at the same size. And if you look at historical numbers, these companies aren't really growing anymore. Okay, so next, I don't really know why I put this chart in here. This is the automotive production of vehicles in millions. We are 60 million here, 70, 80, 90, and 100 million. And what you see here is actually healthy growth rate. But if you look here, you see like 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. So the growth is slowing and started to become negative. And this was 2019. And think about it, with the pandemic really hit in 2020. And that's what you see here. So basically, yeah, they already had problems in 2019. I don't know what I really wanted to say with this, but I think it fits somehow. Okay, anyway, to sum up, it's a gigantic market, about 6 to 7 trillion on a global basis. You have thousands of companies, so it's a red ocean where it's a zero-sum game. Companies spend a lot of money for marketing and sales so they can acquire new customers, but at the end what they are doing is just take away the customers from other company. They are not creating new insurance products or new services. And in the United States alone you have like 6,000 companies, which is crazy. Think about the automotive industry. There are a couple dozen companies worldwide, which is a complete different landscape. So next, companies are limited to about 100 billion. That's exactly the point I just made before. It seems like they are unscalable after this. They seem to be quite scalable until 100 billion, but from 100 billion, it's really tough for them to scale. Then almost no profits, which is crazy. I only showed it at the example of US insurance industry, where it's basically, again, it's a zero-sum game, and at the end they make no profits if you exclude the net investment income, especially now for P&C insurance. And then they have a catastrophic market valuation. Most insurance companies have a PE ratio of about 10. Their price to sales ratio is about 0.5 to 1, something like that. Return on equity is most of the time 10%, which is, yeah, kind of sad. Their net margin is also about 10%. And they pay very high dividends, which are most of the time about 4 or 5%. So at the end, really, this business model doesn't really look that sustainable. Okay, so here is my bibliography where I took the data from. So to sum up all this together is like this market is really ready for disruption. If I look at these numbers, it just seems that people there, they can't really grow, they are stuck, they are just spending a lot of money on marketing and sales and not being innovative and bringing new products and services to market. And they are just trying to take away the customers from their competitors. And it's basically like the customers have to pay for all this, right? So when a company spends a lot of money on marketing and sales, at the end the customer is paying all this back with higher premiums. And also, if we look at customer satisfaction rates, which are often very low, if you look at Lemonade, really high customer satisfaction rate, net promoter score is very high. Customers just love Lemonade. Just go on Twitter and see how many people twittered on this. Anyway, I really hope that this helps you better understand how this entire industry seems to operate, that you really see that this industry is kind of corrupted, and not in a negative sense, but just, you know, when companies or organizations grow so fast and so big, at some point you just have a lot of people there. You have some people that really work hard, and you have some people that don't work at all. They just do as if they are working. I'm sure if you worked in a larger organization, you made this experience too. And at the end, I really believe that Lemonade has the potential to grow in this market. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, consider to subscribe, hit the like button, and see you next time. Thanks, bye.